Hello, and welcome to episode 318, adjusting the microphone, of Prog Review. And today, if you haven't already figured it out, I'm still on my Neo-Prog Odyssey. Yes, I'm nearly there. I'm nearly finished, I promise. The viewers can come back, because looking at the stats, you don't give a fuck either. But I digress. Today we're talking about Pendragon's kind of official debut. He says, holding up imaginary CD. Got this from iTunes. It's their kind of unofficial, well, I don't know, it's their first proper album. Let's we call it that. It's called The Jewel, and it was released in 1985. Yes, it was indeed. And then they remastered it a good few years later. And that's the version I got off of iTunes, which has 2, count them, bonus tracks. Featuring Nick Barrett on vocals and guitars, Rick Carter on keyboards, Peter G, basses, guitars and bass pedals. You can tell it's prog, bass pedals. And Nigel Harris on drums and percussion. Funny thing is that one of their drummers, Fudge Smith, ended up playing on this, which I did the other day. Yes, so there's a very... In fact, there's a lot of Hackett kind of stuff on this. Now I know you're all saying, Darren, you got the wrong album. You should have reviewed this album. You should have reviewed that album. But this is the one I chose because I want to get the... Again, I'm going to keep bloody repeat myself to you guys understand that the whole point is to understand what that neo-progressive rock movement was like when it first, the first wave hit the shore. That's the idea. Not what they're doing now, because we all know what they're doing now. In fact, it's probably worse than what they were doing then. But yeah, the idea is just to see what this neo-prog is like. Pendragon. Didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to hate it. Unfortunately, because it is a reissued and remastered one, there's 2 extra tracks which takes over the hour running time. It's an hour and 7 minutes. Too long. Even without those tracks, it's 57 minutes, I think it is. They've got that kind of Marillion pop sensibility. The opening 2 tracks, he says, referring to iTunes, Higher Circles and The Pleasure of Hope, are quite short. And again, catchy numbers, fairly catchy there. But then they go off. Oh boy. And the songs get progressively longer and more fiddly and widdly and diddly. The guitars are very reminiscent in places of Steve Hackett, though there is a bit of crunch to it. The funny thing is some of the stuff sounds, when they go into kind of the heavier mode, kind of sounds like what Steve Hackett was doing at the turn of the century, around Darktown period, which is kind of amusing. So he was looking backwards. I found that amusing. The lyrics are probably their weakest foray, and the vocals weren't bad. There are parts, and again on the earlier bits of the album where they do sound very, very Marillion-esque. Some of it does sound as if it was lifted off of Misplaced Childhood or Clutching at Straws, but then they kind of hit their stride with the other songs. But they've got a foot fetish. They go on about unwashed socks and Sunday slippers on 2 different songs. They're obsessed. What does he want to do? Open a branch of Clark's or something? I don't understand. But that's a shoe shop, by the way. I think it's a shoe shop. I don't know. I can't remember the name of any shoe shops anymore. Well, ones that are still open. Shoe Hut. There's got to be a place called Shoe Hut, isn't there? It's always something and a name of a dwelling, like Pizza Town, Shoe Hut. You know what I'm saying. You understand. So I'm getting off the topic. So what was I saying? Yes, some of it was very Marillion, and then they kind of hit their stride. They've got these big chords and Genesis-y type bits with keyboards, and there is an awful lot of kind of Hackett influence, I heard. One of the songs, which I can't remember which one it is, O Divinio, the last section, the last kind of little bit, the riff is a direct lift of Icarus Ascending from Please Don't Touch. I would normally knock a point off, but it made me smile, so I'm going to let them get away with it. Yeah, I mean it's a piece of derivative stuff, but the production's pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Didn't enjoy the lyrics. The music was again, oh god, I shouldn't really like this stuff, but you know it didn't upset me because I didn't feel like they were trying. It felt natural. It felt, you know, it flowed. It was a lot better than because I've got their Kowtow album as well, which I didn't think much of, but that's for another time. But yeah, that's why I thought I'd better investigate this one because then I discovered there was one before, so I got the dual instead. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think some of you will enjoy it. I think some of you will get something from it. It's not, you know, it's not an essential purchase. Again, I know everyone's going to be saying you've reviewed the wrong one, but hey, that's the way it goes. I'm afraid I can never get it right by you guys. It's like an abusive relationship. It's like we're married and you keep beating me up. I keep cooking you a lovely meal, but you keep throwing it at the wall and threatening to go back to your mother. That's what it feels like these days. Where's the love? Where's the love? But I joke. Pendragon, yeah, I mean, you know, I thought it was an okay album. Again, comparing it to Marillion, you can see why they didn't rise as much because again the lyrics were a bit bad. I mean, they had the chops and they did have the tunes. This is it. It's just the ingredients were mixed slightly differently, which is interesting. And they were good friends of Marillion. When I read their bio, they supported them at the Marquee or whatnot. So, you know, that's a pretty good pedigree for you. But yeah, I mean, you know, it didn't make me cry. I didn't get upset. I wasn't offended by it, and I enjoyed some of it. I thought some of it was nice. I think what was missing was more like acoustic 12. If they had more acoustic 12-string stuff, especially on like the Black Knight, which I think is mainly played on. To me, it sounded like electric guitar. There's some good, you know, finger picking stuff, but they needed a kind of more of an acoustic edge, I think, to offset the electric guitars. You know, it's quite heavy. But that's just a production thing. That's just me burbling on. But in terms of a rating, I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling generous because I think we're nearly at the end. He says, "You don't want me to do an It Bites one, do you? You don't want me to listen to an It Bites album, do you? No, good. That gets me closer to the end then." It's late, by the way. I'm doing this late night because school holidays, you see. That's why there's not been much content this week. Kiddie wigs running around and you know, trying to keep them entertained. Can't make videos with the kids. Can never be done. Too much noise. Or they want to be in it, which, you know, I'm the star. You don't want to see them. But yeah, back to the rating. I'm going to be, I'm feeling benevolent. I'm going to give this 3 healthy Leviathans out of 5. That's 3 Leviathans out of 5. I really should knock one off for them, you know, ripping off Hackett the way he did. But then he sounded like he was ripping them off in the late 90s. It kind of comes around. The style kind of comes around. Again, I wouldn't say that musically it's really. I mean, again, it goes back to that kind of melodic rock kind of thing. That's the roots of it. It's not prog in that they're complicated songs. They're just kind of long songs with lots of keyboard solos and lots of, you know, melodic bits thrown at you. There's not that many, like, time changes and, you know, and things like that. So you know, it's very much of that kind of prog, if you know what I mean. They've kind of just borrowed those bits. Again, if you like Genesis, if you like Marillion, you're not going to be disappointed. If you're expecting it to be the next best thing, then you may be disappointed. But other than that, I thought for a semi debut, because I think the first thing was either a cassette or an EP. I think it's a pretty strong debut. This is it. This album's it's very mature. It's very strong compared to what I'm going to mention them. I know I'm going to use the A word again, not A word, I word. It's late. I've had a long day. The missus hasn't been well. I've been having to look after her as well, you see. Yeah, I mean, compared to what IQ were doing, which felt kind of sloppy and throw in the kitchen sink, this feels a bit more of a, more mature effort, fully formed, if you know what I mean. And yeah, it's a shame they didn't get a bit more recognition and a bit more. They didn't kind of refine their act a bit more. I think they could have been, mind you, the name probably doesn't help them. They probably need to be rebranded. I mean, Pendragon's not exactly doesn't actually roll off the tongue, but there you go. That's what you get for being into prog, I guess. So yeah, that's it. I've had enough. I'm sure you've had enough. Remember, you can support me, please, please. Got the credit card bill this month. Oh God, it's not going down. Bloody interest rate. Oh, it's killing me, it is. But yeah, there's my Patreon, www.patreon.com/lock, which means you hand over your money and I keep gurning into the camera for your entertainment. There's also, I don't even know why I bother mentioning the music, because no one buys the fucking stuff. But yeah, music.darrenlock.com. Have a look over there. At the moment, there's a free album, The Day Before the Rain. I've put it out for free if you want to pick that one up, because it's my birthday soon and I thought I'd give you a gift, and I forgot to do a video about it because the kids are on holiday. So this is now redundant because I've mentioned it, and then people in the past will be looking for their free download and there won't be one. This is for the week, the February, third week of February, I don't know, 2015. So if you come to it late, you missed it. There'll be another one along in a minute. Don't forget, you can sit on my Facebook as well. Tickle me Twitter, and you can do what you like with me Google Plus. I haven't done that for a long time, have we? Oh no, it's all out there though. Facebook. I mean, what is the point of Facebook these days? God dear, that is a waste of time. But enough of that anyway. So that's it. I've had enough. You've had enough. Pendragon, the Jewel. I say, give it a go. Give it a play. It's not too bad. Not too bad. That's a glowing recommendation from me, isn't it? And that's it. Only one more thing to say, and you know what that is, because we've done it so many bloody times before. But everyone's got to have a thing that they do. A catchphrase. I need a new catchphrase. Hey, don't be cheeky. I heard that at the back. I heard that. Do you kiss your mother with that mouth? Or your father, for that matter? But yeah, prog on.